It's already been a week since we last talked about the news, and last week wasn't too busy as far as news goes, but this week has got some exciting news that I want to share with you, including, of course, that there is a new AI Act that passed over through the EU Parliament. Yes, the European Parliament has actually passed something, and it was just in time for the London Book Fair. Also, the Writer Beware actually shared some information about copyright claims. And also, Apple rolled out a new BISAC category you should probably be familiar with or aware of if you happen to distribute to them. All that in today's self-publishing news for March the 25th of 2024. Let's go ahead into the very first piece of news. AI at London Book Fair. European publishers cheer the AI Act's passage. So the widely applauded AI Act gets its anticipated EU Parliament approval during the run of London Book Fair. Let me go ahead and give you the TLDR on this situation here. So over in the European Union, they were looking to put out what's called the AI Act that requires more transparency on how they are leveraging copyright content, content with a copyright on it. And they really break it down very well inside this Publishing Perspectives column here. But the Federation of European Publishers welcomes the adoption of the Artificial Intelligence Act by the European Parliament today with a large majority. The EU now has rules that will be a model for the rest of the world. The AI Act recalls basic but fundamental principles that AI companies must respect. They must respect EU copyright law and actively ensure that they do, even if the AI was trained outside of Europe. They will finally have to be transparent on the data used to train their AI, which, to their own admission, relies on the use of copyright protected content. So this is something that should have been done a long time ago before we rolled out a lot of this AI stuff, but the cat's already out the bag, the toothpaste is already out the tube. But it's good to see that there are, laws being put into place. I would love to see more of that happening throughout the world. Yes, I am very much a pro AI person. I am very much in favor of it, but not at the detriment of copyright protected content. I truly believe that if they're going to borrow from those entities, from those resources, that they must first of all give credit and also compensate. Getting that permission is huge. So speaking of permission and copyrighted content, Writer Beware just rolled out a new piece by Michael Capobianco, say that 10 times fast, about to CCB or not to CCB. The question is still out. This is the Copyright Claims Board. So here's the TLDR on that one. The Copyright Claims Board is for lawsuits that are more small claims focused. So if there's not like a very large lawsuit, like millions of dollars, that you go and try to sue, let's say, OpenAI for using your copyright protected content, in instances like that, that wouldn't go through the Copyright Claims Board. But let's just say, for instance, somebody infringed on your copyright and you're looking for something that is a negligible amount of money. I'm not going to say $1,000 to $10,000, anything negligible, but you're looking at smaller cases. This is what it's built for. But right now, as they had shared here, I'm going to go ahead and switch over here. The short version, the CCB was created as a judicial body under the U.S. Copyright Office to administer small copyright claims that would be too expensive and or time-consuming in federal court. So this piece kind of digs a little bit deeper. I wanted to bring this to your attention because I heard about the CCB a little while ago, and I might have even reported it in the news. But I know there's a number of people out there that are very concerned sometimes when their content has been abused. Like, what are my next steps? So maybe that is something for you to consider. But I would say go through, read this piece because it's very detailed about how the CCB has functioned and that only 10% of total claims done through CCB is actually involved in the literary world. So it's a little fraction of that amount. So anyway, Apple more recently sent out from iTunes Connect, Apple Books now accepts BizSac Subject Headings 2023 edition. You can see a full list of supported categories when selecting the subject category menu and pages, the Apple Books publishing portal, or iTunes Connect. And I've sent a link inside the description for, inside the show notes as per usual, for the complete BizSac subject headings list. So you can find all those right codes. Now, if you're not familiar with BizSac, that is the book industry standard. Gosh darn it. Book industry standard and communications. So essentially it's like a way to categorize your book in a way that's universally accepted. So this could be categories like antiques and collectibles, architecture, art, Bibles, biography, and autobiography. And it goes further and further down and helps make your book a lot more discoverable. And of course, it gets it to where they're going to be showcased in the right virtual bookshelves online, which is something that you're going to want to do. Very good piece that just rolled out from the fine folks over at Get Covers, one of my preferred cover design services. They have 20 book cover design ideas you should try. Now, this one, if you happen to be listening to the audio podcast, you're going to want to make sure that you go over, look inside the show notes to this particular piece because it is very visual. Let me give you the ideas that they have. Idea number 1, intriguing silhouettes. 2, fascinating double exposure. 3, bright vector illustration. By the way, bright vector illustrations are blowing up big. I used to see these covers and go, why is someone doing this? This just looks so cheesy. It sells. So I'm just going to shut right up. Because I remember I saw Cozy Mystery used a lot of the vector illustrations and I was like, what? It was news to me and I found out the hard way that it actually is good. So color accents also, attention-grabbing contrasts, stylized typography, hinting minimalist, strong focal point, voluminous, say that 10 times fast, voluminous details, non-standard text layout. And if you want to get the other 10 options, make sure that you go over and visit that piece. Again, link inside the show notes as per usual. Going on over here, Brandon Sanderson has done it again. The fantasy author, famous for breaking the world record on crowdfunding for Kickstarter. He did a couple years ago at 41 or 43 million. It was over $40 million. Yeah, he just decided, he was like, hold my beer. Let me do this one again. And he managed to raise $20 million freaking dollars. Can someone please, can we get the blueprint to Brandon Sanderson's success? Because my goodness, this is amazing. This piece has been broken down by Dan Holloway. He is the Ally News editor over at the Alliance of Independent Authors. And he talks a little bit more in depth about the situation, about knowing your 1,000 true fans, and how he'd actually shared that so far, the $650 pledge tier on Brandon's Kickstarter, which claims a retail value of $1,000, has gained 9,000 backers. 9,000 backers at $650. What? That's it. You guys need to go over to Brandon Sanderson from now on. He's got all your information about publishing. It's a lot. I mean, kudos to Brandon Sanderson. This just goes to show that Kickstarter is really a great platform to consider going and self-fulfilling and doing direct sales. And it's definitely a model I'll be honoring later on this year for sure. Let's go on over to a piece written by the folks over at BookBaby, how to promote a book on Goodreads. Now, I've talked a little bit about Goodreads. This 4-minute read dives a little bit deeper, but what they want to share with you is establishing a strong presence on Goodreads. You need to make sure that you become a Goodreads author, create an author profile, and connect your blog. And engaging with Goodreads community, you want to make sure that you read, rate, and review other books, encourage book reviews, run book giveaways. I've heard a number of people over in my Discord community have leveraged the giveaways over on the Goodreads platform with great success. Participate in groups, use Goodreads ads, connect with readers, share updates, cross-promote on other platforms. So great piece. I really recommend you want to get a granular look at some of these items, go over, read that piece. Now, let's go ahead and rapid fire the next few pieces here. There's some dates you're going to want to put inside your calendar. Coming up on Thursday, March 28th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be a presentation by the fine folks over at Written Word Media, about sustainable rapid releasing with Carissa Andrews. This presentation will change the way you think about writing and publishing with Carissa's guidance. Discover how to embrace a sustainable approach to rapid releasing that fosters both productivity and satisfaction. It's time to write more, publish faster, and enjoy every moment of your author journey. That is a free presentation, so I highly recommend you go ahead and take a look at it, folks. And the folks over at BookBrush here are going to be doing Unveiling the Magic, Why Entering Book Cover Contests is a Journey Worth Taking with Jane Ubel-Meyer. And this is going to be on March 29th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You've heard the stories. A scared and inexperienced self-published author rises to success all by entering a book cover contest, but how does it work? Join us as we dive into Bedside Reading Book Cover Awards with Jane Ubel-Meyer, where she'll share the story behind her book cover contest success. That's on March 29th. It's that Friday, folks, at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And my friend over at Keith Wheeler Books, famous on YouTube, he actually just let me know, here's the lowdown on his latest course offering called Puzzle Book Profits. This is the first course coaching program focusing on building a puzzle book business. It's an all-inclusive program that has everything that students need to build a successful puzzle book business. Puzzle Book Profits includes the full Puzzle Book Domination course, nearly 100 videos of content, 8 of Ken Blutman's software focused around puzzle books and activity books, unique content specifically designed for this course, including videos even the complete novice who has never published a book before, also has videos for advanced users, including creating A+ content, running Amazon ads, etc., exclusive Facebook group, email access to both Keith and Ken, where they can answer private questions and do cover and puzzle book critiques, and the piece de resistance is weekly live group coaching sessions. We'll have a topic of the week. We'll handle live Q&As and a whole lot more. You can get details over at puzzlebookprofits.com/join. I am going to say this, that I know both Keith and Ken personally, and in fact, actually, Keith Wheeler is a former student of mine, so he's going to be teaching you stuff that's above board, ethical. You can definitely get your money's worth from Keith and Ken, both good gentlemen. And speaking of good gentlemen, I'm a good gentleman because I'm going to offer you $9.99 per month. You can go ahead and subscribe to my premium video on-demand service called theselfpublishinghub.com. Get details over at theselfpublishinghub.com. And you can start it whenever you like and cancel whenever you want. There is hundreds of videos, hours of footage, lots of exclusive content, and over a half dozen courses, and more to come very soon. What'd you think about the news for this week? Was there anything that I particularly missed? Let me know over inside the Discord community over at dalelinks.com/Discord. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I will catch you the week after next. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in. Special shout out to my channel members for both the podcast channel and the main channel. Without your support, some projects we do at Self-Publishing with Dale would be much harder to fund. If you want to contribute to the cause, visit dalelinks.com/memberships for details and get your on-screen shout out at the end of each broadcast. Till later, this has been Self-Publishing with Dale, and I'll see you soon.